Hey there guys, Alex and Connor from the UK Gaming Bureau. Today we have got a UFC fight sim.
What you do is Yoel Romero versus Luke Rockhold, which is the main event of UFC 221.
Coming up this Saturday in Australia.
This Saturday, in Australia. It's the main event.
It's for the interim belt.
It is the interim belt. It was originally supposed to be Robert Whittaker versus Luke Rockhold for the real belt, but unfortunately Whittaker got injured.
Yeah. So this is interim, which is good. So normally if you've watched videos on our channel before, you might have seen we do fight sims quite regularly, but we never put any commentary over them. But we thought we were going to do it a little bit different this time. We are going to commentate on how we think, as fans, the fight is going to go, and see what the outcome is, and then challenge you to see if you can predict it. And then we'll see on the night who's correct.
We'll see which one of you is
whether it's the video,
closest. See if anyone can get it dead on.
Yeah, could be us, could be the video, could be one of you. But yeah, the interaction is key here, and we'd love to hear what you think.
I'm pretty good. I'm challenging all of you to see if you can beat me.
Wow.
I don't think you can.
So who's closest too? By round and minute if it's a knockout, or method of victory.
And go minutes as well.
Could do.
Let's do it. Why not?
Let's see how it goes. So yeah, we're going to sim the fight and then discuss.
Yeah.
So yeah, the stats aren't a lot different. We just noted in the game. Obviously, we're doing this on UFC 3. Stamina, Rockhold's got the advantage.
Yeah, which is realistic. If you look at Romero's fight with Whittaker, he did gas out in the last 2-3 rounds.
But health, there's only 1 point in it difference, and striking exactly the same too. And grappling as well, both the same.
Yeah.
So it's interesting stats.
It's a very even matchup, which is strange because the two guys have very different skill sets.
The records aren't a lot different either. 12-2 and 16-3. The grand scheme of things, it's quite, it's even. But
they have a lot of similar opponents as well, but we'll get into that in a minute.
Yes, it's true. Yeah. It's a shame you can't award interim belts.
Yeah.
It's a shame you can't put an interim belt on the line to. I don't know. It's an interesting.
You'd have thought of the amount of interim belts. You know what? We'll go legendary. It's the AI.
Legendary. Where are you going to put them?
Well, we can't go Australia.
Don't have Australia in the game.
No,
that's fair enough.
We'll go into Japan. Why not?
Why not? So championship. So we've got 5 rounds accelerated.
Yeah.
So obviously, simple submission doesn't matter because we're not playing. It's simulated. So let's get into the fight.
Let's get into the fight.
All right, coming up next, a middleweight title fight between Yoel Romero and Luke Rockhold.
Okay, so they're going to be fighting at middleweight, obviously, for the interim belts. This is an exciting fight. I'm pretty excited for this one.
I'm excited for this fight as well. It's a tough fight to call.
It is.
I'll be honest.
Yeah, like we said, they're evenly split, guys. They're well-rounded in all the areas that they need to be well-rounded in. Obviously, Romero's just coming off a loss, but the loss was...
it was a decision loss to Robert Whittaker.
Yeah. For the interim belt as well?
It was the interim belt.
Wasn't it?
Middleweight's a very weird division right now.
Yeah. So this is Romero's second fight in a row, and both of them have been for the interim belt. It's an interesting thing. Obviously, Rockhold's coming off of a win.
Yeah, let's talk about both their last fights. So Luke Rockhold is coming off a win over David Branch.
Yeah.
It was a second round TKO.
Wasn't an interesting fight.
No, it's also good to remember that it had about a year off before that fight. Obviously, he lost the belt to Michael Bisping in devastating fashion. He will not let that one go.
And it took a lot of time off.
Yeah, it took about a year and a bit off.
Fought David Branch. It was a fight night main event, right?
Yeah, it was a main event, 5 rounds. The first round, David Branch was sort of closing in the distance. He landed a few good shots on Luke, tested his chin a little bit. Didn't drop him, but he did wobble him a little bit.
Yeah.
Then Luke just took over. That second round, took him down, got his hooks in, just pounded him out.
So,
that's the thing with Luke. He has very, very good top control and submissions.
Yep.
I'd argue some of the best in the division.
Trains with DC. Granted, right?
Used to train with DC. Don't train
yeah.
anymore. But when you're training with people like Kane and
not
DC...
for this camp, but I mean, the rest of his career. Cain
Velasquez
Velasquez and Daniel Cormier, two of the
not bad
top
sparring partners.
Guys, heavier as well.
Exactly.
So I mean, it gives him a good standing, especially against someone like Yoel Romero, who is obviously a heavier middleweight. That looks like he could definitely get away with being a light heavyweight. So he's going to be coming into this fight, I'd imagine, a little bit heavier than Luke Rockhold on the night.
Just quickly there, the reach advantage for Luke Rockhold is something as well.
Yeah, that's a big reach advantage. Obviously, when Romero fought Whittaker, similar situation. I think Whittaker's a little bit longer and taller than obviously Romero.
Oh yeah, actually, back to Romero's last fight, he didn't look bad at all. He lost.
Got outclassed. Robert Whittaker is a tough opponent, I think.
I would argue, to be fair, if they fought 10 times, I think the result would be different each time.
Oh, okay.
I really do.
I thought Robert Whittaker outclassed Romero, and I also thought that if Whittaker didn't hurt himself during the fight, I think it would have perhaps ended sooner.
That's true.
and have been more one-sided if it did go the distance. I think the fact he hurt himself played a lot.
The key to
into that
me
one.
is that in the 5th round, it's clearly tied up 2-2.
Yeah.
And Romero was winning that round.
Yeah.
Then about 2 minutes in, he threw a shot, and Whittaker himself took him down, or he might have slipped over. But I just remember Whittaker finished the round with a few minutes on top. He clearly won, but it was a close fight. It wasn't a...
Yeah, it wasn't.
Yeah.
Oh, it wasn't one-sided. I don't mean...
It wasn't one-sided.
Saying it was outclassed, I don't mean it was one-sided. I
Yeah.
mean, it just showed how amazing both guys were.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
But Whittaker was very clearly, to me, the better fighter on the night. But yeah, no mistake that Yoel Romero looked awesome.
No, not at all. But that is Romero's first loss in years, first loss in the UFC against a very tough opponent, and it went the distance.
Yeah. So this fight is interesting for all those reasons that we've just sort of gone through, that they're both so strong in different areas that really complement each other's skill set. Yoel Romero, tough dude, deadly hands, deadly...
Very good boxing. He has powerful kicks. He doesn't throw them too much.
Yeah. Heavier dude, though, like we said. Obviously,
Yeah.
they're at the same division, but, you know, as you know, if you watch UFC, the guys are different sizes, different shapes. Romero probably going to be coming in heavier on the night than Rockhold, I'd imagine. But that puts Rockhold, you know, not at a disadvantage. He trains with Cormier and Cain Velasquez, so he's used to the heavy guys.
So what would you say is Rockhold's key to win here? What do you think he has to do?
I think he needs to keep his distance. Ooh, okay,
no
interesting.
glove touch.
I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think Yoel Romero is the one Aggie dude. I think Rockhold needs to keep his distance. He needs to watch his chin because he does have a bit of a glass chin. So he needs to watch himself. I think he needs to use his kickboxing. Man has amazing kicks. And I think he just needs to go a similar way that Whittaker did with Romero. He needs to be patient, bide his time, pull the good shots that are going to do the good damage, and not rush Romero. Romero, if he rushes Romero, I think Romero's going to come out like a pit bull and just completely destroy him. What about you? How do you think?
Yeah, with Luke as well, he has a very good left roundhouse kick to the body. But if Romero being a southpaw, it's going to be a lot harder to land that. Also, on orthodox opponents, their body's right there.
Yeah.
It's easy to throw kicks for both fighters. Not going to be as easy as they're both southpaws.
Yeah, that's true.
The thing is, with Romero, he's a very good wrestler, but he doesn't mind getting taken down. Because he's very good at getting up.
Yeah, he's confident on the ground, confident with his hands. It's a real tough fight for both of them.
The thing with me is Rockhold is very good on top, both with ground and pound and submissions.
Yeah.
I think Rockhold should maybe see what he can do if he gets on top of Romero.
Okay, which we're about to see right here by the looks of it. There you go. How funny.
I think we never really see Luke on his back either.
No, not very often.
don't.
Like I say, he ends a lot of his fights, you know, with his kickboxing, his Muay Thai is pretty great. But hey,
I mean, he has a very underrated submission game.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see that side of him. You know, be interesting to see that side of a fighter that traditionally uses a lot of his kickboxing more often.
Yeah, I'm just thinking a lot of in the Weidman fight as well, where he just mounted him and just pounded him out. But in the 3rd round, it should have been stopped in that 3rd. But obviously, it went to the 4th and it was finished.
Yeah, so to me, watching that submission system is just like a riddle,
crazy, isn't
a
it?
riddle that I can never solve. It's just crazy.
Yeah, it's quite hard.
I mean, these guys are working pretty hard. Rockhold's stamina is low, so if Romero lands a
Yeah.
big shot here... Okay, no. Oh! Okay, that was close. If he landed a big couple shots there, that could have been a done. Look at his stamina, so
It's
low.
very low. That's the thing. I think Romero does need to pace himself in this fight.
Yeah.
He can't just go straight for the knockout and try knock him out straight away.
I'd love to see some advancements in his cardio this fight,
Yeah.
especially as that was clearly a really big issue that he had in the last fight. I'd love to see if he's improved on that and changed that aspect of his fight game.
Well, here's an interesting fact about Romero. Most of his UFC wins obviously come by knockout. They come in the 3rd round, which is very interesting.
Yeah, I suppose
Considering he doesn't have the greatest cardio.
Yeah, and I suppose he's not been through many 5-round wars. So maybe 3 rounds he's okay with, I suppose. If you train a lot of 3 rounds, then
He
that's
had a
what you're
5-round fight against Lyoto Machida that was finished in the 3rd, funnily enough.
Oh, some big ground and pound from Romero on this.
Yeah, this is what I'd like to see. I think if Romero can get on top and stay on top, it's going to be very hard for Luke to shake him off.
Yeah, we're going into round 2 as well on this
for
one.
sure.
For sure. Okay. Round 1 was interesting.
I think I'd give it to Romero.
I think I would too. There's a lot of groundwork, but a lot of active groundwork, which I like to see. Happy to see that. Happy to see good ground and pound. happy to see, good ground and pound, good submission attempts. Don't want him just rolling around on the mat for 25
Don't forget he got
minutes.
the takedown as well.
Yeah.
He's one who initiated
Yeah,
the
that's
takedown.
true. He got the takedown. It rolled around a little bit, but he ended up on top in the end as well. But yeah, definitely Romero's round, I'd say, on that one.
So what I really worry about for Luke in this fight is his ability to take a punch.
Yeah, glass chin.
I'm not sure I'd go as far as saying he has a glass chin, but it's not far off.
I don't know, man. I think for someone like Michael Bisping, who's really in the years had doubt that he can knock that many guys out with his hands, very competent fighter, obviously. But for someone like Michael Bisping to do him with 2 shots, I think speaks a couple volumes for his chin.
He doesn't have a great chin, but I'd say more than his chin, it's his defense.
Yeah.
I think he leaves his hands down low a bit too much. If you look at that Bisping fight, his hands are right down by his body.
But we've also got to consider that in the Bisping fight, Bisping took that one on late notice, very last minute, and Rockhold really didn't give Bisping any chance. Like, he didn't think that Bisping was going to do it whatsoever. So, I mean, the fact that he was a little bit cocky in that fight, perhaps...
Ooh, good takedown by Romero.
Yeah, that was good. The fact he got a little bit cocky in that fight speaks volumes, I think, because he wasn't expecting that to happen. With this one, I think he knows very clearly that Romero is
Do you think
real worthy
Bisping
opponent.
being a late notice fighter had any effect on it? Because Romero is also coming in on late notice.
I think it had an effect on it in the sense that Rockhold didn't give Bisping much of a chance to win regardless.
Right.
If Bisping had fought his way up and was next in line, I still don't think Rockhold would have given him much of a chance of winning. I don't think he valued Bisping's skill.
Okay.
Whereas with Rockhold, I think, as with Romero, I think Rockhold would have been very aware of the man's skill set.
Okay, so you think it was more Bisping as a fighter as opposed to it being late notice?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay.
I think it's Bisping as a fighter. I think if Romero came in with 2 weeks' notice, or any less, I think it'd be a different story.
Okay.
I think it was because he didn't respect Bisping. I think
Yeah.
that had a lot to do with it, and he thought he was just going to do Bisping in, either go the distance with him or just knock him out early, because Bisping's been knocked out a few times. But yeah, I think it was a lack of respect. Rockhold's getting absolutely beaten.
Yeah, he's trying to escape the top control of Romero, which is very hard to do. Romero, of course, is a silver medalist Olympian. Another fun fact about Romero,
Yeah, I didn't
every
know
single
that.
wrestling tournament he's ever been in, he has medalled in.
Wow.
Every single one.
Cuban,
since he
right,
started.
Romero?
Cuban.
Cuban. Interesting.
Yeah, it's not a stretch to say he is the best wrestler in the UFC. It's not a stretch at all.
It's interesting.
Either him or Henry Cejudo, who of course won gold
Yeah.
in the Olympics.
Melted gold.
Melted gold.
So we've got minute 12 left on the clock here. Romero's really dominating Rockhold on the ground.
So do you see the fight going like this at all? Would you be able to see Rockhold sort of gassing himself out?
Maybe. I'd be surprised if Rockhold gasses out.
Yeah?
I would be surprised. I think the man's got pretty good cardio. Obviously, he's in fantastic shape.
Tell you what, Romero might actually have a submission win here.
Yeah, I mean, he's really working it.
Romero got a submission win.
Wow, okay. Yeah. So you got an armbar, round 2.
Round 2 armbar, according to EA Sports UFC 3.
The actual time, and go through to the final stats page on this. Let's watch a replay there. Not a very exciting replay, obviously, because it was an armbar win.
You see it once, you see it again on the game.
You watch it at the start, it's pretty similar at the end, unless a bone's popping out. It doesn't really change very much. But okay.
That's interesting.
I wouldn't be surprised if that happens.
Really?
Not in round 2, I don't think. Maybe maybe a 3 or a 4th round if it was a submission win for Romero. But an armbar, like you said, the man's got amazing wrestling.
Yeah.
So his submission game is going to be strong. He looks a lot like Jerome Warner, who we've been fighting on the career mode. Like,
He does a
just
little
that,
bit.
he looked very
If you
similar.
don't know who Jerome Warner is, of course, check out our career mode.
Yeah, we've got career mode going on the channel, so check that out. He's our rival. We're one each at the moment, and the win losses. But yeah, I think he looked very similar then. But yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be shocked by it. Would you be
Okay.
shocked by that? Do you think
I would.
you would?
I really would.
You'd be shocked by a Romero.
Rockhold is
Submission.
a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. He's never been submitted before.
Yeah.
Romero definitely doesn't have any submission wins in the UFC. I can't remember pre-UFC.
Okay,
I don't see it going like that.
but you got to think as well that their stats in those areas in the game, at the very least, were
Yeah.
equal. You know, they weren't
Very
different.
true.
So I mean, if Rockhold's submission game was that strong, the stat would have been considerably higher, I would have thought. So the fact that the UFC have clearly judged that, from what they've seen of both these guys, very similar stats. So there's our end stat page there.
Yeah, that seems about right. Look at all the control time for Romero. A lot of strikes landed by Luke still, but a lot of those are on the bottom.
Yeah, a few more significant strikes, and he threw less overall, so definitely did land the stronger shots when he was stirring them, which again seems realistic to me. The man, that's how I think he needs to win. I think he needs to throw the sensible shots.
Who are you picking and how?
Who am I picking and how? I would like for Luke Rockhold to win.
Okay.
I'd like for it to be a round 4 TKO.
Okay.
Because I think if he can get into those later championship rounds with Romero, I think the gassing, if that's still an issue, which I can see it possibly still being, I think that will be a real issue. And then I think the man will still be able to throw really good, strong shots in those later stages. So yeah, I think a round 4 TKO for Rockhold would be my prediction. Okay. What about you? What are you saying?
I am going to go with a 3rd round TKO for Romero.
Okay.
I got to look at stats here. Romero finishes most of his fights in the 3rd round.
Yep.
Luke Rockhold, his chin, as we mentioned, and his defense are a bit shaky at times.
Sure.
That 3rd round, Romero just comes out like a tank. And I can just see him just clipping Rockhold with something. The amount of power he has, not only in his hands, but his knees, his legs. He can clip Rockhold with something. And if he clips Rockhold with something and Rockhold goes down, I can see him jumping on him and finishing.
Okay.
So yeah, 3rd round.
It's going to be exciting to see it. It's going to be exciting to see
it. It's going to be a good fight either way.
Yeah, I think so too. So just to summarise, it was a round 2 submission win. It was a armbar for Yoel Romero, and that was at 4 minutes 30 in round number 2.
Jeez, right at the end of the round.
30 seconds left on the clock. So yeah, okay. Well, obviously this event is going to be on Saturday, UFC 221 in Australia, Perth, I believe, right?
Yeah, Perth. First event in Perth, I believe.
So hey, it's going to be exciting to see it, and let's see how similar our simulation is to the actual thing on the night.
And see how close our predictions are. Of course, leave any of your predictions down below.
Yeah, please do. Cool. Catch you next time.
So we had Yoel Romero take the win in round 2 at 4 minutes 30 seconds by armbar from the mount.
And if you're planning on watching this fight, let us know in the comments below, either on YouTube, Facebook or Twitter, and let us know your prediction and we can see if anyone gets it right after the fight. And if you enjoyed this video, hit the like button below. And as always, to see more videos coming soon, please subscribe to the channel.